Welcome to Excel lesson number 2. We're going to be learning how to use formulas and cell referencing to create a basic budget. In the end, this is what we're going to be creating. A budget that lets us keep track of the amount we're going to be spending in a week and the amount that we're going to be making in a week, and overall, how much money we're going to have left over. What's great about this type of table and using formulas and referencing is that if we change an amount, let's say we spend $20 on food instead of $10, I can just change that to $20 and we'll see that our total will automatically change with it. First thing we need to do is set up our table. So pause this video and take a few minutes to copy down the table that I've made here. You may want to adjust the widths of the columns and whatnot, because you can see here that my total with tax is going over the cell boundaries, so I can just go between the column headers, click and drag to make the width of the cell more appropriate. So pause the video and come back when you have made your table look exactly like mine. So now what we can do is start putting in values for our spending and our income. So, for example, as I have in the example here, perhaps you're choosing to go and you're planning on buying a t-shirt, you have some jeans in mind, you need a new pair of headphones, and you're planning on going to the movies. We're going to skip the food for now. So, I'm going to add those values in, and I'll come back to you in a minute. And just a reminder on how to navigate around your page, I can put in pay under income and hit the tab key to go over to amount. Let's say we make $100 that week at our job. If I hit enter, I go back to my original column that I started in. Let's say this week it was our birthday and we got a little extra birthday money. Once again, my words are too wide for my column, so I'm going to create a larger column. And I put $50 in there. Another nice thing we can use in Excel is our cell formatting to tell Excel what type of numbers are in each cell. So I could say that everything in B is going to be a money amount. So up here in my home ribbon, I can find the number section and click on the money button. Now it puts it all in as money for me. So column E will also be money. So take a minute, pause this video, and copy down all the amounts or add in your own amounts into the table. Now we're going to be using formulas to actually add up all these amounts. I could add all these up manually if I wanted to, however that would take extra time, and if I changed an amount or added extra amounts in, then I would have to do all my calculations again. So when you want to add in a formula, click on the cell you want it to go in, and all formulas start with the equal sign. So type in your equals sign. Then you can just click on the cells you want to add up. This is called cell referencing. If I click on the $15 amount, I can see it doesn't add 15 into my cell. It adds B4. That's the name of the cell. Then I can put in the plus sign. You can see B4 stays there. Then I can click on B5. And then the plus sign again. And then B6. And the plus sign again. And B7. So you see in my cell I have B4 plus B5 plus B6 plus B7. If I hit enter, it puts the amount in the total. If I were to change one of those amounts, let's say there's a sale on jeans and they're half off, I can put in $25 instead. And as soon as I hit enter, I'll see my total goes to $85. I'll put that back to 50 though. Pause for a moment and try that. I can see when I click on my total, it says $110, but if I look up here, this is called the formula bar. The formula bar actually tells me what the formula is for that cell. It tells me what other cells it's referencing. Now this one, B4, B5, B6, B7, if I had a lot of cells, that would be a lot of typing to put all that in. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to delete that. Oops. I'm going to delete that cell. I'm just going to hit the delete key. And instead, I'm going to use a formula. If I go up to my formula ribbon here, click on formula, you're not going to need most of this stuff for now, but I'm going to put in an auto sum. Sum is just adding it up, if you remember. So I'm going to click on the down arrow and choose sum, and Excel is going to make a guess at what numbers I want to add up. Usually it adds up all the numbers above it. So I can see in my cell, it says sum, meaning to add up, and then in the brackets, it tells me what range of cells, so B4 all the way to B7, and I can see a box around it. Once I hit enter, it'll add that value in. I'm going to do the same thing for my income. I'm going to click where the total goes. I'm going to click on my auto sum. Double check that it added a sum because there's other types of formulas. And this one has E4, which is right there, all the way to E8. There's nothing in these right now, but that's fine. I might want to add some later. Hit enter, and it adds them up. Once again, if I click on the cell, it has the value right there, but up in the formula bar, it tells me exactly what's actually in that cell, what that cell is doing. So take a minute and try that out. Now I'm going to use my total with tax. What I want to do, I'm not going to type in 110 because that total can change. I'm actually going to reference that cell, so I'm going to hit equal sign, because I want to take whatever is in this cell and I want to add the tax to it. So if the tax is, let's say, 13%, I'm going to multiply it by 1.13. If the tax was 14%, I would multiply by 1.14. As soon as I hit enter, that value changes. Once again, we can always test it. If my jeans go half price, $25, my total and my total with tax will both change when I hit enter, automatically. In this way, you're using Excel as a great big calculator. Now the next thing we're going to do, we need to find out if we're going to have any money left over at the end of the week. So in my net money, once again, I'm going to use a formula and cell referencing. So every formula starts with an equal sign. I'm going to take my total amount of money that I make in this cell, and I'm going to subtract, so just the minus sign on the keyboard, my total with tax of the amount of money I'm going to spend. And hopefully, I'm going to have a positive amount of money. Perfect. So I'm going to have $25 at the end of the week. If that was a negative amount of money, I'm going to have to go in and adjust the amount I'm spending or try to make more money. So put those formulas in. Last but not least, we're going to show you how, by using the sum formula, I can add information in without having to do much more work. I only have 4 areas here where I can put in spending. Let's say I plan on going out to eat with some friends. I can add in a row. I can just click on any row, right-click, and go down to Insert. When I insert a row, we see that I added a row in between jeans and headphones. If you ever make a mistake and you don't insert it where you want it to insert, you always click the undo arrow here, and it will just go back to what you did before. But I'm going to add that back in. Right-click, insert. I'm going to add an entry for food. Hit the tab button, and I plan on probably going to spend about $10 on food, so I put a 10 in there. When I hit enter, watch my total with tax, and my net money will all change. Now I only have $14 left. That has been our introductory lesson on formulas and cell referencing.